Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping headfirst into the truly bizarre and hostile world of Bob Dylan's 1965 masterpiece, Ballad of a Thin Man. You know, this one question, it's not just a line in a song. It's everything. It's the challenge, it's the accusation, it's the mystery at the very heart of it all. So let's unpack it. So the big question is, who is this Mr. Jones? Well, the lyrics, they paint this super vivid picture, right? He's a total outsider. He's an observer who's just walked into a party he was definitely not invited to. And look at how Dylan builds this guy. He's got a pencil in your hand, so you're thinking, okay, maybe a reporter, a critic. He's very well read. He hangs out with professors and great lawyers. This is a man from the establishment, through and through. He thinks he can understand the world through his facts, his books, his connections. He's here to watch, take notes, and tell everyone else what's going on. The thing is, the world he walks into, it doesn't play by his rules. At all. It's like a bizarre play, and he has no idea what the script is. And you know, this feels incredibly relevant today, doesn't it? I mean, think about figures like Donald Trump. His whole thing is built on rejecting the rules of the game, of political speech. He creates this huge spectacle, and all the traditional observers, the journalists, the academics, the modern Mr. Joneses, they're left just scratching their heads. The rules of the game have completely changed. And this really just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's two totally different realities clashing. On one side, you've got Mr. Jones's world, logic, facts, books, professors, neat and tidy. On the other side, just pure chaos and spectacle. Naked people, geeks. He tries to ask these clear, logical questions, and what does he get back? Utter nonsense. His entire toolkit for understanding the world is completely, utterly useless here. But it's more than just confusing, right? This place is actively hostile. It's aggressive. Every single person he talks to seems to have one goal: to humiliate him, to just completely break him down. Let's look at these encounters, because this is where it gets really intense. Okay, so each of these interactions is basically a masterclass in what you could call epistemic humiliation. That's a fancy way of saying he's being punished just for not getting it. First, the geek totally flips the script on him, right? He asks, how does it feel to be such a freak? Making Mr. Jones, the observer, the real spectacle. Then the sword swallower does this bizarre thing and says, here is your throat back, thanks for the loan. And finally, the one-eyed midget just screams nonsense at him. Every time he tries to use logic, he gets smacked down with an insult that makes him the center of the freak show. And after every single one of these absolutely baffling, humiliating moments, Dylan just hammers it home again and again with that relentless chorus. Yeah, so, do you, Mr. Jones? It's not a real question. It's a taunt. It's a sneer. It's the sound of this new, chaotic world looking at the old guard and saying, everything you think you know, it's worthless here. And wow, does that feel familiar? It's the same kind of energy you see in populist performances today, like with Trump mocking experts and the establishment. It's all about casting the people who are supposed to know things, journalists, academics, as these out-of-touch, clueless elites. The question isn't looking for information, it's a judgment, it's a verdict. You're ignorant. So by the time we get to the end of the song, Mr. Jones is just broken, totally defeated. He completely failed to understand the reality right in front of his face. And really, this isn't just about one guy. It's a takedown of an entire way of seeing the world. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about the 60s counterculture or the absolute chaos of today's media. The song is basically saying that when the rules of the game suddenly change, the people who thought they were in charge of the facts are left looking totally lost. Think about that image. You put your eyes in your pocket and your nose on the ground. He's not that confident guy with the pencil anymore. He's so humiliated, he's literally trying to disappear, to look away from what he can't process. But the room isn't done with him yet. Not by a long shot. And this is where it shifts. It's no longer a question. Now it's a verdict. And it's coming from the very people he thought he was just observing. Against you, coming around. Oof. He's not just an unwelcome guest. His very presence, his attempt to stand on the outside and figure them out, is treated like a crime. He simply doesn't belong. And then this. You should be made to wear earphones. This is the ultimate punishment, isn't it? The final perfect irony. The guy who came to see and hear and understand is sentenced to be deafened, to be permanently cut off from ever getting it. His ignorance isn't just a temporary state anymore, it's his destiny. So we end up right back where we started, with that same powerful accusation. And you can see why it's echoed for decades, can't you? It's so much more than a song. It's a parable. It's the story of what happens when the so-called experts, the people who are supposed to explain the world to the rest of us, suddenly find themselves on the outside looking in, at a show they can't control, and can't even begin to understand. And it doesn't matter if that show is being run by Bob Dylan or a modern political showman. And of course, the song never gives you an answer. It just leaves us with this really critical question for right now. In a world where creating confusion can be a deliberate political strategy, what do you do when the way you've always made sense of things just stops working? And maybe more importantly, who really gets to decide who the freak is? The person putting on the show or the person in the audience who can't figure it out?